Hello and welcome to this Warno 1v1 game played on Talor Duel between Rip Khamenei playing as MBAD and he's going up against Milka playing as 79Y. So we'll go through the deck reviews and then we'll get back to it. Right, so this is the deck review for Rip Khamenei and he's playing MBAD. Deck looks good. I don't know what else to say. Yeah, we'll go through it tab by tab and so on. Generally, I don't know if you need the Scorpions over the Weasel, because the Weasel gets good stealth, so can be nice for sneaking around the sides through the forest and stuff. And I really like the LSV Milan for the start. Sorry, I've got hiccups. Uh, I mean, Pathfinders are a must bring because they've got 4 machine guns. This, I don't know about really. I guess the idea is recon deployed helicopter. You don't need that. This goes at 130 kilometers an hour. This is airborne forward deployed AA. Skyguard's better against planes. Pivads is better against people. Not bringing the minstrels crazy though. I mean, I understand it's like, oh, I kill the infantry if they run up to me. Right. Well, why not bring some, Fallschirmjäger MG3 or something instead of yet another card of Paras? Well, you got too much infantry, I think. And then you probably don't need this. So it's not a one-to-one substitute. But what I bring is 4 cards of AA, including the VADs, because the VADs is the anti-infantry, but you need the minstrel, really. I should probably go through these things in order. Very bad at that. 2 cards of supply, okay. Yeah, you bring this and that, it's very funny. And yeah, these vehicles are very funny at the start. I honestly think you got too much infantry. I don't really think you need that much. These are really strong now because of the SMG buff. So this is your anti-infantry, infantry, and it's all kind of anti-infantry. I would like sack off a card of that. Now you got 3 AP. RT, I understand cluster mortar. I understand 105s. You don't need 8 of them, right? Okay. At that point, you might want a 3rd card of supply. The ATMP Milan, I don't know, I think the TOW2 is better, frankly. Because it's got more pen. And it's only 5 points more. Right? It's got a bit of armor, that's not going to help, but it's faster, it's got more HP. I mean, the only point of this is, oh, it's forward deployed. Well, you got so many forward deployed ATGMs, it's unreal. Generally, people bring the Weasel as well, and then like you can 2-vet all these. Oh, you've got the Weasel TOW2, my bad. Yeah, you can bring the ATMP Milan, or you can get the Striker. Or you can get the Weasel TOW2. I like the Striker personally, but yeah, generally people bring 3 cards because of these kind of fire support things. Because the idea is you just kind of spam. You don't have to. You don't have to. You can. My alarm telling me to wake up. Yeah. Wouldn't that be nice? Extra 3 hours of sleep. What happened? Why am I all the way down here? How long's it been like that for? The clip on my webcam broke, so now I have to manually adjust it. How long's it been like that for? I'm gonna have to check after this. Uh, yeah. Yeah, I don't know about this, honestly. I don't think you need it. You got 10 recon infantry with that. Then you would bring this one because it goes at 130, so it's good at the start for sneaking around the sides and stuff. It's very funny. In terms of like, yeah, you can bring this one if you want, but don't you want the Panzerfaust 3 one? It's up to you. It is 10 points more. Got a recon helo. I like the LSV Milan. Sorry, the LSV M2HB. It goes at 130 at the start. And it's like max vet special forces, so it like kills helicopters and stuff. It's really, really funny for sneaking around the sides and so on. Or you could bring the snipers, I guess. Or you could get your Skyguard back. And then yeah, planes, yeah, you bring the fighters. This has a problem where they keep saying they're gonna fix this, so maybe at some point it'll be fixed. But this doesn't fire from max range. Doesn't fire from max range. It's really annoying. So at the moment it's not very good because basically it can't see far enough. So the weapon has the range, but the plane can't see. So it doesn't fire from max range. It fires from like 3,500 meters or something, which is a lot worse. So at the moment, you might want to swap it out for this, but who knows? In the next patch, they might fix it. Who knows when the next patch is coming out, etc., etc. Switching to his opponent, we got a Milka, which is a brand of chocolate. Yeah, deck mostly looks good, just a few things. So you want to open with this, 2 of these for 80 points. Just so much more useful than 2 of these for 140. Because you div slow at the start, and you've got, you'll still have 6 CVs. 3 cards of supply I think makes sense. You can swap this out for the big one if you want. Moving to the arty tab, this is not good. So like the Gvozdika is the same as the D30, so if you want to spam, just spam the D30. And it's like with the 1-point slots. Get the Grad, and get the Smoke Mortar. And then, like, you can do this if you want. Like, you can have those like that, and or whatever. You can have the D30s like that if you want. Like, this is your counter battery, this is your kind of spam arty, and this is your mortar, But yeah, I mean, it's like this is... You need these at the start at 2-vet, because you div slow at the start, so... And you probably want this. Especially given that you don't have the BRDM2. This is a defensive tool. You got plenty of those. You got grenade launchers, you got BMP1s. Sorry, I keep going through it in the wrong order. This should be at 1-vet. Yeah, you can do that if you want. A lot of people like bring in the grenade launcher one. I used to be strongly against it, but it is really good. But the whole point is that you get the cheaper one, right? So you can... It comes in the better BMP2, which has more side armor. So instead of this, you get this. You save whatever 35 points in the card, right? 5 times 6. Which is not a huge amount, but that's a supply truck, right? And this is better, it's got more side armor and stuff. Survive tank shots to the side and so on. Yeah. I honestly don't like the Resvedka BMP2 anymore. I just bring the Resvedka BMP 1P. It's up to you, you don't have to. It's like this is a 3-point slot for the Saperi, and this is a 3-point slot for Resvedka Saperi with a BTR 60PB. I guess you could also bring this in a BTR 60PB, so it's up to you. But like you get 1 fewer, right? But they're recon, and I just kind of prefer that. So I like doing that. So it costs the same. Nika 1-vet this, this one is so much better. It's got exceptional optics. It's got twice the HP. It's faster. Yeah, I mean, if you like, I need 8 cubs, you basically just need to get better at the game. You don't need 8 cubs. If you buy 8 cubs, you're probably going to lose anyway. Yeah, he's gone for the more expensive one, if you want. I mean, this Jush thing doesn't fire properly because it's not on a turret. Something to keep in mind, whereas this is on a turret. But yeah, it's got the ECM. Yeah, I think that's all good. And then, so we come back here, we get rid of that. Now you've got 2 points, now you can swap that out, get this. And generally people would get the BRDM2 Conquers, or just get more tanks. Like, you don't really have a lot of tanks here. Usually people would make another sacrifice somewhere to bring even more tanks. So, for example, you could get rid of the Resvedka Saperi, because you've got the Saperi RPO. It depends, right? It depends if you want heavy, lots of infantry or lots of tanks. You're a tank div, so generally you want lots of tanks. But if you're on Tala, then you want lots of infantry. So, yeah, because it's just not a lot of tanks, and that's a 2-pointer. So what you would do in this case is you would get rid of the Resvedka Saperi. That would give you 3 AP. Then you'd come back and put this arty back in, right? You can bring 2 up there to Katsias or whatever. And then you would use the 2 points for the ATBs, right? Let's cast the game. Right, so with that out of the way, both of these decks have some problems. 79Y not bringing the TO55s, I think is a big mistake. Makes your early game too weak. Not bringing the BMP ones, the recon BMP ones, I think makes your early game too weak. I don't really like the Rapira. I think that's more of a kind of noob thing. I mean, I don't know how else to describe it really. You unload it, it's really cool. Okay, if you're against anybody with a brain, they just immediately buy a mortar and blow it up. Like, you don't even need to buy a howitzer. You just buy a mortar and just start shooting it at it. The BRDM2 Conkers can move, makes it a lot more powerful. Yeah, he also didn't go for the cheap CVs, so looking at the deployment, we got that classic 0 CV opener. No TO55s. At least he got the Saperi RPO. Sometimes you see people not even bringing that. So we got nobody going to Bravo, apparently. I don't know why he's going there. You want somebody here in case something were to happen. BRM1K for no particular reason. That'd be the perfect opportunity to buy the Razvedka with the BMP 1P. Because you get the infantry, you get the BMP 1P, and you can leave the infantry here and put the BMP 1P here, and you're defending. He's got the Rapira anti-tank gun, and then he's sending the MTLB forwards to ensure that the Rapira can't move if he needs it anywhere else, because its transport is so far away. Got an Igla mid, 2 more Iglas, a Saperi RPO, Motostrokey, a couple of more Spetsnaz Gru. You can get here. You can get here. BRM1K. If you're going to use them like this, you might as well bring the BRDM2, because the BRM1K, the point of it is that you put it with your tank so your tank can see, which is not what he's doing. And then you got another Rapira and an Igla. His opponent, playing MBAD, LSV Milans go at 130 kilometers an hour, so they are pretty fast. Typically, you don't do like a heli rush with MBAD, because what's the point? You've got LSV Milans that go 130 kilometers an hour, and you should bring the LSV 50 cal as well, because that goes at 130 kilometers an hour. Instead, we have the masked genie parachutist with paracommando opener. The other thing you bring is the other Unimog, right? The one with the ATGM on it, because it allows you to make a very strong defense at the start. Less useful on this map, I suppose. This should be an LSV Milan. 2 Sultans at least to cap the zones. But yeah, like, there's no minstrel with this. There's an ATMP, okay, but typically, you know, you'd have somebody come up here, sit there, so you could LSV Milan there, could shoot all the way down the road, as you can see. So that's very useful, right, at the start of the game, stop him from getting in, and then you can actually just run all the way down this road and play this. You don't have to come around this way and do it slowly and all this, and you should have a minstrel with it. Because there's a helicopter. I like the smoke mortars, right? Smoke here, because there's going to be a T-80BV coming down, or there should be a TO-55, but yeah, we'll see how this goes. Right, so they're off. It's time for me to thank the generous channel joiners, generously joining the channel. They get their names on the screen, they get the videos early, they get members exclusive videos. On join at the lowest levels with 2,000 views. So if you feel bad about your ad block, it's a great way to support the channel. Yeah, if you alt-tab, it doesn't show all the icons, which is why that F-16 appeared to show up out of nowhere. So yeah, there's lots of free ways to support the channel. Unfortunately, Warno just isn't a big enough game to really support a channel like this, so that's why I push the channel memberships. This is the only reason the channel can exist at its current form. Otherwise, I'd go get a job and it'd be like 2 videos a week or something. So, yeah, lots of free ways to support the channel. Right? You can just watch the videos, that helps, right? And liking and commenting and subscribing and so on. So yeah, I mean, Warno essentially at its core is a game of mistakes, and the way you win is you make fewer mistakes than your opponent. That's really all there is to it. So both of these players are doing some really daft things. What is that? But yeah, it's just who does fewer daft things. Typically at the lower level. Right, so this should just come across here and just get up through there now and cap that zone. This guy should be shift queued up to here now, so he just goes down there and gets in there. No, there is an AA. There is an AA. But now you'd want to put like a Skyguard in there or something, and maybe Gurkha rifles because I get there fast. If you're on red team, you want to try and, you've got the recon here. You want to try and sort of come around here, but he didn't bring the TO-55s, that's your early game TO-55s, and the Resved could be MP1P, he didn't bring either. So that's not ideal. Yeah, I figured that might happen. Although at least it killed the helo. It's just, yeah, the helicopters can kill stuff like that pretty quickly. Like a spag would work better because it would immediately stun it. It's just if the first missile misses, I didn't quite see what happened there, but if the first missile misses, the helicopter might not miss and then it just kills you, so something to keep in mind. Red's finally bought a CV, but yeah, you should go for the Potox for the 2 CVs per card. Just because they're like 40 points instead of 70, so... Not the best micro there from the F4F guy. He just sort of came around here and then he could have got more shots off there. Yeah, because like if he was over here, the cub wouldn't have shot him and he wouldn't be dead. So not ideal. This has only got 4 HP, so just sort of sitting there and hoping this doesn't hit you is not ideal. He's dodged 2 now, he's a lucky boy. This is coming round, so it is happening. And there it goes. Like you basically, as soon as that fires, if it misses you, you just want to land immediately, because that's your best chance. It'll stop them from firing a second shot. Unless they're like super high vet, in which case they'll probably fire a second shot anyway. But yeah, it's turning into... don't know if I finished my point before. If you're kind of a lower level player, Airborne's just like crazy good because... Okay, if your enemy's a lower level player, because attacking's hard and getting there first is kind of a big deal. But yeah, this is why you get the smoke mortar for obvious reasons. I mean, he's basically almost dead. There's almost always going to be somebody here shooting at you, so you get the mortar. Mortars are like so useful all the time, but on this map in particular, they're very useful. There's like a supply for over here as well. And then, essentially you want to get the smoke out, shoot some smoke there, so you can cross over, the genie guy as well, because you want one of each, I suppose. And then you push up through this. You've got the better infantry, right? Like what? It's hard to be positive. Okay, they're going into the forest. Typically, you don't want to just hang about in the open because you tend to get shot. And this is where... Like, I prefer the Striker over the ATMP Milan, even though it's got bad accuracy. It fires all the rockets a lot faster because it's got a 5 salvo length. So as soon as one misses, it shoots the next one. It does that 5 times, whereas this has to reload. It does reload while the ATGM is in transit, which is nonsense, but... Yeah, that's not going to kill that. Just, I guess you know that now. It also missed, but... Like, that wasn't a good idea. And then the ATGM, so if an ATGM is here, that's in tank gun range, so you're going to get shot, so you want it back here, or in here, right, if you know the enemy's in here, because he can just roll forwards and shoot you, and then roll backwards, because now he should reverse. So the question is, will he? I don't think he will. I think he'll just sit there and get ATGM loads, and he's used his smoke, so you might just die, but... If you're against a good player, they're just going to shift queue a bunch of forwards-backwards orders here, and they'll pop out, shoot, and you will just die. The tanks beat the ATGMs when the tank gun is in range. The advantage of the ATGM is it's cheap, and it's got the range advantage. So, yeah, you need some like more infantry here, but got 2 Darkfires. Well... Okay, I mean, they're going to buy planes sooner or later, so I guess that makes sense. But yeah, you really should have, once he took this, it appears he just bought a bunch of ATGMs. Well, you need the infantry, because they're going to put a tank there, or a tank there, and then the ATGMs aren't going to be so useful. So yeah, having an ATGM, maybe 2, is good, but you need the infantry. Like, Parascorpion, is this just because he only had 35 points? I assume so. Because, yeah, Red's doing a good job of dealing with this. Look, he comes around the side, and now you can't reinforce. Right? And if you had infantry in this forest, none of this is getting through. So, you've lost the zone because of the purchases. So it's worth keeping in mind. But, you know, he's on a +3. It'll be a +1 once he loses that zone, I guess. And the other thing is, okay, so he's given that up so he can get better command of this. So, yeah, you know, bring this forwards. Take the forests here. Getting in here is very good. I suppose he wants to shoot down that road, but there's people in here, so... I guess he just doesn't know. You need recon, like, that's something else you'd notice. It's like, very little recon. You got the helo, but you need, like, recon with this group. I appreciate there's a Pathfinders here. And so, yeah, at least he's getting the ATGMs out. But he has lost that zone, unfortunately, just because of what he bought. Didn't buy the right things. He probably would have lost it eventually anyway, but the airborne is just about buying time. And, you know, you get the tick, you buy time, and hopefully the game ends before you run out of time. You can't do that in Steel Division 2, can you? So there's the TOW 2 here, I think, got shot by the Repairer. Not sure how that happened, given that it was fast moved, but... maybe it stopped. Maybe it got stuck on something. There used to be a really annoying bug, but I'm pretty sure they fixed it, where if somebody shot at you while you were fast moving, your unit would stop and turn around, and then turn back around and keep going. It's like, what the hell are you doing, man? There are some things with this game which are frustrating. So if you've got a unit... so you can shoot between this gap, right? So you can get a unit, have it side on, and, you know, go here to try and shoot, and then you immediately want to go forward so that you don't get hit by an ATGM. But when it stops to attack, it will always stop to turn to face this. There's no way to stop that from happening. So, that's annoying. But yeah, the Scorpions are shit. I don't know. I mean, I did say in the deck review, but obviously the game's already happened, so it's not like he's not listening to me. Generally, they're just there for padding, for trying to buy time and stuff, but... you know, basically, he should have dropped a Gurkha rifles in here. He should have dropped a Gurkha rifles in here. Sort of too late now. I suppose the Cub might have shot that Gurkha rifles here. But when he took this, he definitely could have held on to that for like another 10 minutes. But just bought the wrong things, went to the wrong places. So what did he buy instead? Like 2 Darkfires. I mean, I appreciate that. There might be a bomber coming at some point. Su-24HE. Very good bomber, very broken bomber, needs to be a lot more expensive. But I think holding on to this zone for longer would have been more important. So yeah, his opponent also has a really weird deck. The guy has like it's like 920mm, because he's got the D30s and the 2 cards of Gvozdika. So that's 922mm, and the Acacia. So that's yeah. But yeah, lower level games can be better because you learn more from them. It's just, it's not as exciting because nothing really happens. So, yeah, I mean, he is moving. And MBAD actually gets better artillery because it gets the 105s. Typically, you 2-vet these, you don't need 8 of them, 6 is sufficient. You also get the cluster mortars. And then what you do is you put them like, you know, 1 there, 1 there, 1 there, put the CV in the middle, by a Sultan, put it in the middle, so it does all 3 of them, and then you put like 3 on counter battery, and then have the other 3 for shooting, and then the counter battery ones should counter battery pretty successfully. You can even put all of them except 1 on counter battery, and then just use the other one and fire at something. And then what that does is it baits out the enemy into counter batterying the one that just fired. And then he definitely loses his arty piece. But then his he might have secondary counter batteries. There's a lot more that goes into it than people think. They are. I'll be honest. Some people don't think it's just change bad, change bad, change bad. They don't really see the possibilities. It's a shame, really. But so he's aiming at the wrong place. What you do is you get your LOS tool with C, right? And you bring it over to the corner. And you bring it over to the house, and it snaps to the particular house within the block. And you see it snapping there. That's where you aim, because that's actually where that's where the unit will be in the building. Because the splash on these things is so low that you really want to maximize your chances of hitting the correct building in the block, otherwise you won't kill them. depending on what it is and so on. But yeah, I mean, he's going to use his arty now, which is good. Would have been cool. Like, MBAD is just really, really, really good on this map. So the point is, like, you get the cluster mortars up, and they put a CV in, bam, 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 dead, and then you've got the 105s on counter battery. Your main issue is you don't have a flamethrower or a flash or a coffin launcher. Like, your infantry isn't actually that good against infantry. At least the genie parachutists or something now, because at least you've got a pseudo SMG unit, but an SMGs are strong at the moment. But yeah, generally it's just not that useful. So if you're the 79Y player, your plan is basically just to slowly build up, buy the RT. I mean, we went through the deck review, you should just have a grad instead of 9 flipping Vosdekas, and then you slowly push out the MBAD player. And yeah, the MBAD player, I'll be honest, like, his positioning is not great. There should be autocannon in here, autocannon in here. He should have had guys in here, not just stood out in the field so they can get shot. And then, you know, when they come over the hill, then you're all behind the hill and you all shoot them at once, so you don't get shot by, like, the fire support back here. Yeah, and then, like, hopefully he's firing... Okay, he's got those in counter battery. Yeah, you need the fire support, man. Infantry... Your infantry's bad against infantry. So now he's gonna try and kill a 40-point unit with a 240-point bomber. And he knows about the Cub because it shot him before. He flew right over it, so... He survived. Sorry, I ran out of hard drive space. Keeps happening. I record in 4K, so I have to constantly delete everything. Otherwise, you know, I lose my hard drive space. So, like, that wasn't great either, right? You know the Cub's there. It just shot you. You're gonna fly over it again. Lose your F-16. It's not ideal. But yeah, Red is... he's just, like, spamming a lot of RT, which you kind of expect, I suppose. I mean, he needs to push back in somehow. And Blue, in the crucial moment when his reinforcements should be coming up, bought 2 planes. So instead of having a bunch of guys coming up, he had 2 planes, which one of them killed a 40-point grenade launcher, and the other one exploded. So that was not a good use of points, right? Instead, he should have bought reinforcements. So the scimitars are here now, but you know, and now he doesn't have the infantry, so he can't actually see. So he buys another plane. Yeah. Yeah, he buys another plane. I don't know, it's hard to get people to get out of this mindset of, like, sometimes it can work, but, like, if he had, like, a big bomber, like a Su-24M HE, like the other guy has, that could have worked there, because everybody was really blobbed up in here, and it would kill them all. Right, so maybe it would work. But this is going to kill one thing. So, and you know the Cub is there because it keeps killing you. So why do you keep running into it? It is a shame. Yeah, so that doesn't one-shot 3 top armor heavy tanks. Most of the LGBTs in the game don't. The ones that are 2 per card don't. I think they should all be 2 per card, because I don't think any of them are very good. But yeah, the ones that are 2 per card generally don't one-shot a 3 top armor heavy tank. That's how it works. So that's why the other ones are 1 per card. So, because I guess the idea behind the 1 per card one is you bring it out and it can immediately pay for itself, right? Whatever, an F111, 1 FLGB, the one that drops 2 at once, not the one that drops 1 at once. If that came out and hit this, well, it would immediately have paid for itself, so I understand why. But yeah, I mean, Blue is like he needs to stop these so they can throw the satchels, and then you can, once it's thrown, you keep moving it. He buys another plane and runs it straight into the enemy AA. And this time he makes it, and this is the problem, you see. Sometimes it works, even though it really shouldn't, and that trains people to just constantly do it. So yeah, I mean, he's got a problem here. I don't know if he noticed he will have seen them, but did he notice them? So I guess mid is going to get taken. Um, Pretty depressing. I gotta tell you, man. Pretty depressing. You could buy an ATGM healer would be good here because it gets there quite quickly. It can shoot the tanks. Like the tanks don't have any AA with them. But yeah, that's what happens if you get attacked and you immediately decide to buy 4 planes in a row. You get no reinforcements for 4 minutes, and then you lose. So, a bit depressing, really. Do wonder. So he's bought the ATGM helo. Thing is, like, so this Milka guy, like, he needs to send this first, see if it gets shot, get this to there, and then put the T80BV here, so it shoots down the road with its mega range ATGM. But instead, he's just hidden them in forest so they don't do anything. It's like, these should die on the road right now, because the tank should kill it. And he needs a... he's bought another cub, I think. He's got supply. But yeah, the Grad would just be so much more useful than 9 Gvozdikas. It really is something. So yeah, the BMP-1 is coming down. Like, he is actually doing it. It's just... and then, yeah, these will probably just die in the transports. Oh no, he unloads that one. You notice he's sending the cheap stuff first. Buys another plane. Yeah, you know, I mean, I don't know what to say. I wouldn't make a good teacher because obviously, so this is probably the first time I've said this to this person. For me, it's like I always say this. Why don't you listen? But it's not the same person. So I wouldn't make a good teacher. That's a shame. That could have been a side shot. So yeah, I mean, all Red really has to do now is those Saperi unloaded here. I guess those could... well, I suppose the Scimitars are in a good spot to shoot some as they come down this road now, so that's good. Like, Blue's actually taken the zone because of, like, Red's attack is not the best thing ever either, to tell you the truth. More infantry, less tanks, basically, on this map. But yeah, not having those TO-55s, it's just crazy, man. And then what you would do with these Pathfinders is try and go shoot this guy in the back while this shoots him in the front. So, yeah, like all this time, he's just had a bunch of infantry sat here not doing anything because he couldn't bring them across the gap because there was a tank there. The tank isn't actually there anymore, but he doesn't know that. There could be anything there, BMP-1 with the grenade launcher. So, like, he lost this fight, and he could have won it if he just had a single smoke mortar, or even just these. You just smoke there, and then you can run across the gap. Then you can get in. So, you know, don't be afraid of moving your unit. I know it sounds dumb, but you'd be surprised. I mean, that's a great example, right? Well, these are here, and I can't get there. Well, that's where the smoke comes in. So yeah, driving the T-80 BVs through the forests, generally not such a grand idea. On this map you don't have too much of a choice, but yes, that was a huge kill. And somehow, MBAD's on a +1, because Red just sort of totally monged out, man. He's still on the counter battery. I suppose this must be why he brings 8, right? Look how many rounds have landed here. So, yeah, generally, you just get a grad on this map. I mean, obviously it's ranked, but I bring grads for 1v1 essentially all the time now. I don't know, I guess he didn't know this was here. He had the paras move up and it didn't see him, or at least I didn't see that it saw him. And he killed the T-80, so he probably just thought it was empty. You can use a recon helo for that, but I think they're all dead. So one died here, right? So well, you only get 3. Maybe one died around here that I didn't see. Generally, you'd want a recon helo there. And he's got the TOW too. It's not quite looking down the road, but it's in cover, so... Here it wouldn't be in cover, but it would have more range. You'd have the range advantage. The ATMP LML is generally good against helicopters. It's just if the healer's shooting back and you miss the first one, which you shouldn't miss. So that's the one he bought before. Oh, he does have a recon helo here. And yeah, I don't know about the whole plane spam thing. It's generally not a good idea. And he did send the Gurkha rifles over, so he's doing a good job here. Needs like a scimitar there or something. And yeah, I think Red overextended himself. I mean, to be honest, he is on a +5. But you know, he basically 79Y wants to play slow. I mean, sometimes there is an opportunity for a breakthrough, but he's lost a lot of stuff. And so if Blue just keeps buying, now that he can no longer buy planes because he's fed all his planes, the game now forces him to buy what he's actually supposed to buy, and so he can get back in here, right? And MBAD, this has smoke. MBAD's art infantry is better than 79Y's infantry, sort of. I mean, if you micro the Sapere you can just kill all of MBAD's infantry, but generally speaking, MBAD's infantry is better. This doesn't have AT, so the MTLB can't be stopped, which is really depressing. Yeah, I should kill that 30 mil pretty easily, though. So yeah, this is a good spot. Oh, well, if it was slightly to the... It keeps snapping to it, man. If it was there, it could shoot down the road. It might be able to do that anyway, because this LOS tool is just an approximation. Otherwise it'd lag the game every time you spawned it. So... yeah. I mean... Is Red gonna win? He should. I feel like 79Y in general is a stronger div. MBAD's good on this map. Like, he's using the... So, if you just use a move order instead of an attack move order, obviously the move order's just expired, but you do have to make sure that you don't just walk into the tank and die. I mean, he corrected it there. So yeah, the paras are sort of decent. I prefer the... I don't actually bring the paras, I just bring the Gurkha rifles. 2 cards of those is sufficient. Because it's just the same, but with 4 more dudes for 20 more points. And it's got Resolute and Mountaineer, so it goes through the forest faster. The issue with it, of course, is big squads generally aren't cost-effective, because they get the same amount of suppression mana as small squads. They get 500 suppression mana, so they get suppressed just as easily. So, I mean, there's a case to be made for the paras, right? I mean, that you get more law 80s, right? Because this gets 4 for 12 and this gets 4 for 8, and it's cheaper, so you buy 3 squads instead of 2 or whatever, like you did. You got 12 law 80s instead of 8. So, yeah, I don't know, I mean, Red really messed this up. He had him, and then he didn't put an AT gem in there, so Khamenei just sort of just keeps walking down this road. Because he wouldn't be able to do that if there was an AT gem in there. Like, the tanks he had, he didn't use them at the right time. He did eventually send one to her, right? And in the meantime, because he's so focused on this, he's just been driving down this road, losing all his stuff to the side shots from around here. And Blue's just come over and taken this zone back, because he had all the units on this side. So, the 79Y player basically should have... You know, he took this, right, and then he should have just come over here and sorted this out. I understand it's always a +2, it's a +2, it's a +2, right, okay, but... You gotta give up on these things if you want to win the game. And, yeah, the 9 122mm are, like, mind-blowingly shit, so... well, that's an exaggeration. It's just 1 grad would do the job a lot better, and is cheaper than 9. It's actually the same. So the grad has, like, what is it, like twice the explosive filler of the 122mm. You can literally just look it up, right? Just look it up. I had somebody was like, No, it isn't. It's like, yeah, it is. Just Google it. So even though it's the same caliber, the Grad has twice the explosive filler. And in this game, the howitzer round has more HE. The howitzer round has about twice the HE, even though it should be the other way around. So it is very, very strange, but it is what it is. I preferred the Red Dragon implementation of MLRS. I think, honestly, HE MLRS in Warno now is okay. It actually works. Like I said, I bring the grab. But I prefer the Red Dragon implementation, where the grad is like, it's cheap and it doesn't really do much damage, but it like rapidly suppresses an area. Like it aims fast, it reloads fast, bam, 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 suppresses everything, and then you do it right before a push, and then they're low cohesion and or whatever it's called in Red Dragon. Then you can kill them. So he's got the supply in, he's got the parachutist. He's still fighting the arty fight. And he doesn't have any infantry here, so he needs some infantry here now. I guess this is a bigger deal, given that this is a +2 and this is a +1. So, yeah, I guess he didn't know about this Tunguska, but honestly, like, every plane he's bought has been a complete waste of time this game. He's not had a single successful bombing run, and that should tell you what you need to know about air spam. It's too unreliable. But sometimes the F4F, you know, because you saw the one that went through and that survived, even though the one behind it didn't. And then people are like, wow, it worked. Even if you're not consciously like that, subconsciously your brain is like, that was successful, let's do that again. And sadly, I feel like it teaches people the wrong lessons. You can air spam, right? If you're against Lufty Landy, then yeah, go ahead, buy planes. But if you get 79Y with the Cubs and the MiG-29s, it's probably not a good idea. But yeah, Red's having trouble getting enough infantry in here, I suppose. He's ran out of Saperi now, I think. He brings both cards, but he brings them at no vet, so he's got loads. Does make him worse. But yeah, this just isn't a fight Red can really win. The way you win the fight is by, you know, putting somebody there so they cut the reinforcement road, which is what he should have done at the start. Because, like, none of this would be in here if he just put the ATGM there. It would have to, like, unload here and then come around. It'd be so awkward. It would eventually get there, but... But yeah, Red's taken this back, so he's still on the +1 with 10 minutes left. So as long as he just stops feeding, he should be fine. He's got that need, though. He's got the need to feed. Gets shot, walks forwards. Eyes. The feed need. Yeah, more walk orders, not attack move orders. Because, like, well, what if there's a vehicle? I mean, there isn't, but... Obviously, if it's got a satchel, walk order can be better, right? Because you want to get within 150 meters or whatever. But it's all good. I mean, he's looking at it, so he's just changing it when they attack. It's all good. And yeah, more Gurkha rifles. But yeah, if you're Red, you know, you want a recon in here. You want a ATGM here, so they can't get in. Got a couple guys in this forest, which he's done. Should be counter battery and quite aggressively. Should eventually get him. I'm really surprised it took him this long to buy these. He changed it too late, so it didn't actually fire. These were out of ammo. That's really depressing. Depressing all around. Yeah, so this is like completely broken bomber that should cost us like way more. It's very hard to shoot down, and it's a blanket bomber, so it's perfect in situations like this, obviously before all the infantry dies, because, you know, each of these is 85, so it's a bit unfortunate, but it's 170 plus 65, it's 235 points from that one bombing run, and it's a 240 point plane, so... it's like, well, you just said don't buy any planes, bro. Yes, okay, but 79Y doesn't get good. It doesn't get loads of good infantry like MBAD does. So if you're in an infantry fight, you need to do something different other than just buy infantry, right? The MBAD player, if you're in an infantry fight, In a forest fight, just used to buy infantry, right? And now that he's doing that, you'll notice he's starting to pull it back. I don't know if it's enough. Because, yeah, I mean, in that situation, you would buy another SU-24M and you would kill these. That's actually, I made that point. I said if it's a blanket bomber, it could be useful against huge blobs of infantry in a fight. You don't buy an LGBT for that because it's going to kill one of them. If that. It's going to have the tracking and so on. So yeah, you got to be careful with these, man. I mean, I understand they have a lot of HP, but sort of just walking towards people. You'll probably get this. So he sends the next one out. Oh, that's interesting. I mean, you're already halfway there. You're not actually going to make it back. Well, he might. No, he's dead. So yeah, if your enemy has long-range AA, maybe don't buy planes. If your enemy does not have long-range AA, maybe buy a plane, you know, that sort of thing, right? There is nuance to these things. It's not just empty your air tab. Empty your air tab, then you win. Yeah, I do like the usage of the Hell Arms to try and get the side shots and stuff. Sadly, just, you know, the Tunguska came in and got him, the MiG-29 got him. It's a shame he has the supply, he's just not resupplying these. It's a big shame, because he could have got that SU-24M, because it flew over this. And then those 2 Gurkha rifles and 1 para would have survived. Does he not give them right-click orders? I don't... It's because it's dead, we can't check. But that one, I don't know why it was... Anyway, they wouldn't have died because these would have shot the SU-2 because it had to come back around to bomb again. So you can see how like small mistakes cause big problems. Like I said, Warno is a game of mistakes. Who can make the fewer mistakes? So Red made a really big mistake when he attacked over here and didn't put an ATGM in there for ages. And then, you know, just kept running across this field instead of using his range advantage. And then once all the infantry shows up, didn't buy the bomber for ages. Honestly, he should have just ran away and just focused on taking this instead. Because he can still win on a +1. So it is a very close game regardless, right? Okay. So yeah, this doesn't shoot... I said this in the deck review, but I know none of you watch it. Well, very few of you watch it. This doesn't fire from max range. It's got some kind of bug. That means it doesn't fire from max range. It fires from like 350 meters away. So just keep that in mind, man. It doesn't work properly. Because yeah, this is a problem people have known about for a long time, and still like that. So like, you can't send this in, can he? Because the lower 80s will immediately blow him up. So, but yeah, imagine if Blue used some smoke, man, and he just like smoked here, so you can get the CV in a bit safer, that sort of thing. And if Red had a grad, he could just grad that, and then it'd be gone. So. Moves and counter moves, as they say, right? So did you notice that didn't really drop from... Did it get it? Wow. Like a 45% accuracy missile. Obviously, because it doesn't drop from the max range, doesn't shoot from the max range, it's actually a lot higher than 45% because the closer you get, the higher the accuracy is, right? I don't know how that works in terms of, is it from when the missiles launch or is it from when it hits? Because obviously you launch it and then you're still flying towards them. Even if you press evac, you're still coming towards them, so I do wonder how that works. I'm going to assume Red can see this. Yes, he is shooting at it. It has smoke. It has smoke. Please, use the smoke. Okay. Enemy just missed enough times, I suppose. It could have been very ugly. I suppose he's got a spare. So, yeah, I don't know what to say, really. I mean, yeah, Red, he's going to send the CV around. Bring the TO-55s. What if you get a map like Talor? It'd be crazy, right? And then once again, he doesn't look. Now it's not going to drop, and now people are going to live. I mean, obviously, there's two of them. So he's like, I'll go for the AA, and then he realizes, okay, I've only got 3 minutes. I better go for the CVs and so on. But yeah, he didn't give the attack order properly. You know, if you he could have smoked, he could have hid, he could have moved. Probably couldn't have reversed in that case, right? So I guess Red's lost. Because by the time this shows up, it's not gonna matter. Is he gonna send that in? If you worry about getting shot, pop the smoke on it and drive into the smoke. The smoke will be far enough forwards to save you. So at this point, you can't send it in without doing that because it'll die. So. Oh my god, it's just right outside the zone. But yeah, these would kill him, so what you do is you just press B. Oh, it was in. Or at least it came in at the end there, I don't know, so... Yeah, it might have been partially capped before. But yeah, it looks like Red's lost, right? Because he's only got a minute. And you can't... There's nothing he can do. You want to use the reverse order there, because I see you facing the right way if you want to smoke. Also, I mean, 2 armor's not really all that, but it's interesting. I thought that had 3 armor, the Sultan. They lower the armor. They must have done. Could have sworn that was 3 armor, you know. Yeah, I don't know. They keep changing these. Like, they used to cost more because they were 3 per card, so they cost more. Then the price went down. Now the armor goes down. It's like, oh, we should make them 2 per card now. Well, you know, how about, what? You know, why was anything changed? How's that better? So he didn't use the smoke on it, and now it's dead. I guess he didn't know about this because the Gurkha rifles, you know, they were slightly forwards maybe. And yeah, I mean that's all she wrote. It's just not enough points. It's 100 points for a draw. So it ended up being a really, really close game. And it just came down to, like, both sides made mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes in Warno, right? I'm not saying I'm above it. I made loads of mistakes. Look, he's, like, preemptively artillerying there to try and stop it. It doesn't actually matter. It doesn't actually matter. But yeah, Red just made more mistakes than Blue. And that's how it works. Just make fewer mistakes than your opponent and you can win. So, rank 598 versus rank 516. So there you go. You know, if you're like, well, I can't play Warno, the players are too good or whatever, as you can see, there's players who make mistakes, right? But yeah, he bought all those planes and none of them did anything. It's just such a waste of points. And you think it's like each plane's 250 points. He had 2 clusters, 2 fighters, you know, 2 well, it was like 4 fighters, but some of them did something. 2 LGBTs, and then it's like 1,000 points or something. And I know the AT plane got that tank, right? So like 1/8 of your losses was just planes, and if you hadn't bought them, like what did you get out of buying those? Nothing. So yeah, it's hard to play air against the Cub division. So whereas against a Darkfire division, and the 79Y gets the seed as well. So does MBAD, but it's not very good. I'll see you around, GG.